Right. So good evening, everyone. Ignore my hair. Right. I'm not going to the barber shop. That's why it will be like that.
Sir, me too, sir. And my mother is not sending.
Okay, Jia, no issues, right? Anyways, I'll try to show you a bit of that. Okay. Okay. So greetings, everyone. Good evening. So today we will start the introductory class of chemistry. Okay. So I guess all of you have a basic idea about physics, right? We started physics, right? Very good, Nabil. And we know what is motion. We have done the chapter motion. We have completed everything. We have studied till equation of motion, right? And now the limitation that so the limitation was we basically studied only motion in one dimension, right? Only straight line, है? So we will talk about chemistry for today's class. Now, when I talk about chemistry, okay, let us think. Okay, let us think. What is studied in chemistry? Tell me.
Sir, formula, acids, and
Sir, chemical compounds and elements.
Okay, about chemical
how
compound.
they react when they get together, or what is how the electrons and also.
Yes, okay. So let us talk about some history behind chemistry. Okay. Now spelling is wrong. The spelling of chemistry is wrong, I guess. T-E-R-Y.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Or is it correct?
No, sir.
We are reading chemistry for first time, so how will we know the spelling?
See, someone said about disability, right? So that is when you make mistakes in spellings. Something is like, I don't even remember that. Someone said about this. Puja, Priya, you did puja or what?
Yes, sir, it looks like that.
Okay, chalo, let us start. So, when you talk about, right, I guess all of you can see me. है ना? So, when you talk about chemistry, okay. So, in ancient times, chemistry was also known as alchemy. Alchemy, okay, right? Because people thought the chemistry is just like a magic, है ना? Right? I hope you might have seen some videos, right, in which when people is doing some kind of thing or uh, keeping fire on his hand or something like that, है ना? Or changing the color of something. So they saw those kind of phenomena as magic, right? So that is called as alchemy, and the chemist was known as alchemist.
Sir, what is alchemist?
It's just the name given to the chemist in ancient times, okay, because people were very superstitious, right? They did not know much about science, है ना? Right? So when you talk about
Something behind
this
the
chemistry, है ना? So we talk about tell me compounds, molecules, as someone said.
electron.
But when you talk about the basic thing, okay, the basic question is, what are we made up of? The
Sir,
first question, what are we made up of? Tell me.
cells.
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 Cells. What are cells made up of?
Sir, atoms.
Right? Cells are made up of molecules. What are molecules made up of? Atoms.
Sir,
Right?
Atom.
Now think about it. Think about it. If I ask you, right? Your house is made up of what? Bricks? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Anna, our house is made up of bricks.
Yes, sir.
So can I say that, okay, sir, the smallest unit that is used to make a house is a brick? Yes or no? Right?
Sir, no.
Anna, when a brick is kept one over another with a regular structure, it becomes a house, right? Obviously, there are other things required, but mainly it is the
Brick.
smallest brick. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? In the same way, when you talk about any substance, right? Be it you, me, your water bottle, your laptop, your phone, everything is around us, right? Is made up of a tiny substance which cannot be further divided, है ना? Right? Or which cannot exist when further divided is called as atom. ठीक है? So the next question would be, what is atom? So I can say, sir, atom is the smallest
Atom is the smallest unit.
of substance which cannot exist independently. है ना? So the question would be, right? What are we made up of? What are we made up of?
Cells.
Right? है ना? So the answer would be what? Sir, we are made up of matter. Right? The answer would be we
Can you
are
use
anything. Anything, right? Everything is made up of, है ना? Right? Yes, very good, Priya. So I can say everything is made up of, everything is made up of, right? Tell me, small
atom?
units called atom.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Atom. राइट अभी तो स्टार्ट ही हुआ है अभी कहां से डाउट आ गया अभी तो मैंने कुछ कहा ही नहीं है
एक छोटा सा डाउट है सर.
राइट पहले पढ़ाने तो दो ठीक है सो
एटम
ओके
से हम लोग बने हैं सर, तो एटम्स किससे बना है?
again that's what I'm saying, right? So atom, when you talk about atom, ठीक है okay, so atom is the smallest, right, smallest unit, right, which exist independently, exist independently, right, है ना? clear है? now अब next सवाल, what are atom made up of, right, है ना? okay, so second question would be, what are atoms, what are atoms made up of? Yes or no? Atoms made up of, right? So as we saw in the video, those who have watched the video, you should be able to answer this, right? है ना? So atoms are further, right? Atoms can be further divided into smaller particles, right? But they cannot exist. Yes, yes, Nabil, tell me what is the made up of?
They're made up of neutrons, electrons, and
Sir, neutrons and
Right,
positive charged
correct.
electrons.
Very good, right? So I will just answer this as atoms are made up of, atoms are made up of subatomic particle, subatomic है ना, subatomic particles are right, and the subatomic particles are electrons, protons and neutrons. Neutrons. Okay, now there is again another story on the discovery of proton, electron, and neutrons, right? That we are not discussing today. Okay, right? Because again, we will take one whole class. So it's better I will send you the video, you watch it first, right? Then we will see. Okay. Your question should be, okay, sir, you said subatomic particle, electron, proton, neutron, and then you're saying that atoms are the smallest unit. How it is possible? है ना? So my answer would be, read the definition first. When I talk about the definition, it says exist independently. है ना? Right? Clear? So if you break atom into electron, neutron, proton, they will not exist independently. ठीक है? Right? That is why, right? That is why when we talk about the smallest unit of any substance, any matter, it is atom. Okay, not electron, proton, or neutron, right? So let us talk about electron, proton, and neutron and the structure of atom. Now, when you talk about the structure of atom, how atom looks. So again, there's a discoveries, there are lots of experiments, okay, done by lots of scientists, right? That we will be studying in next class, but because today's we have to know, right? What are atoms? What is electron? What is proton? What is the different type of, right, elements, right? What is elements? Hai na? So these are things that we have to study for today's class. Now, obviously, when you talk about anything, it is discovered by someone, Ayana. It is discovered by some scientist, right?
Yep.
They keep on studying on something. For example, even though when we are talking about atoms, right? Protons, electrons, neutrons. If you guys will be interested, you will see in detail. There's a whole, right? Not even just chapter, whole stream of, right? Stream of chemistry or physics which associates with these subatomic particles, right? There are many subatomic particles apart from protons and neutrons, right? So that we'll be studying later, okay, after completing this. But obviously, when you talk about the ancient time, people did not know about atoms, protons, and electrons, okay, right? So electrons, protons, and neutrons, people, right, just know, okay, there's something called, right, there's something called substance which, right, which we have studied, solid, liquid, and gas, and they have exist in three forms, okay. And then I hope all of you watch the video. If you have watched the video, then you will get it, okay. That when you talk about the discovery, so there was a scientist, right? There was an Indian scientist, or there was sadhus, right? They observed about the smallest unit of any substance, and they call it as anu. They call it as anu,
Anu.
right? Anu. So anu we call, right? Anu in English as
Sir,
atom. Kannada,
Atom.
yes.
yeah, that I
Kannada
in
English,
Sanskrit the name Anu means atoms mean in Sanskrit atoms
yes.
Anu.
So atom is called as anu in
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit, right? So again, that is a history. So we won't be going in the history. So obviously, we know that our ancient history, ancient civilization, was much more, uh, developed as compared to, right? What is as compared to the other civilizations, but obviously it was not documented properly, or it was lost. So again, it was discovered, right, by a scientist called as,
Sir, Greek scientist, sir.
yes. Anyone know the name? Thomson, J.J. Thomson.
Sir, I don't think sir the name is correct.
No, Gia, no specific. As I told, right, it is just a name, right? It is just a name. Okay, right? So there's a scientist called as J.J. Thomson, right? He discovered electrons. He discovered electrons. Okay, right? Then there's a scientist called as Goldstein. He discovered protons. Okay, we will talk about the nature of these subatomic particles also. And there's a scientist, Chadwick, James Chadwick. He discovered neutrons. Okay, now, okay, so what is the meaning of discovery? Discovery means to study the nature, right? What the nature of these electrons, protons, neutrons, and all those things. So when we talk about the intrinsic property or the inherent property of any substance, so there are two properties. First is mass, and second is something called charge. Okay, right? Second is something called charge, mass and charge. So when you talk about these two properties of these three, right? These three subatomic particles, electron, right, is written as E, and this negative. It is just the notation. Then proton is written as P and plus charge, and neutron is N and no charge. Okay. So this notation itself symbolizes that electron is negatively charged, right? And what is the meaning of negative? It is not same as the negative in, right? It is not the same as negative in math, right? Negative in math means subtraction, but this is just a notation, just a symbol, right? To identify between two different person, sorry, not two different person,
Sir,
identify between subatomic particle, right? For example, very good, Akash. Okay, right? Okay. So yeah, so negative is just just the symbolic representation. For example, we have two kind of people, है ना, male and female, right? So if
Yes, sir.
someone says what is male, what is female, so male and female is just a symbolic representation. Yes or no? Tell
Yes.
me, right? If the
And there are
person,
some minor differences in them.
yeah, if a person, right, who actually gave this idea about male and female, if he would have said, okay, the guys are female and the girls will be male, so we would be studying that only. Yes or no? Tell me,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Think about it. है ना? In the same way here, negative and positive is just a symbolic representation of two different subatomic particles. ठीक है? So the charge of electron, we assume it to be negative. We assume it to be negative, right? And the charge of proton, we assume it to be positive. Okay, right? When you talk about mass, so mass, I'm not writing mass because it is very small. The mass of electron is very, very small, which is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg.
Sir, what can you repeat? What is it?
It is the mass of electron, one electron mass. See how, right? How less the mass of electron is.
Sir,
See,
what is
Karen, how small the mass is. Guys, all of you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sir, now we can hear you, sir. That time, no, sir, your lips were moving,
Okay,
but
so
not
again,
audible.
no, I guess I'm audible, right? So see, these are things that you can find in every textbook also, right? These are the things that you have to remember. So I'm not focusing on these things, right? Okay, because these are the things that is very theoretical, है ना? So mass of
Excuse me, sir.
proton, yes,
Sir, what is the difference between mass and weight, sir?
we will study what is the difference between mass and weight. For you guys, for now it is same, but actually there's a difference. ठीक है, right? Weight is actually a kind of force. ठीक है, okay, guys. So what is the mass of, tell me, what is the mass of electron? Tell me. 9.1 into 31 kg, minus 31, right? Which means it is 1 by 10 power 31 times less than 1 kg. Yes or no? That is a very small number. And this is minus 27 kg. So I can say that these electrons and protons, right, are actually very, very, very light. And they are very light, right? The mass of these protons and electrons is very small. And mass of neutrons is almost equal to mass of proton. Same, right? And it is neutral, no charges there. Neutral, no charges there. Okay,
Excuse me, sir.
yes?
Sir, the two weights you have written, no, sir, it is very confusing, sir. Of which weight is of protons and which weight is of other neutrons, sir.
Is written now. This line is electron, this line is proton, and the last line is neutron. Okay, this is
Okay, sir.
electron, this is proton, this is neutron. Okay, right? Okay, so again, I'm not going to cover lots of theoretical things because we are talking about, right, concepts, है ना? So let us just jump into the concept, right? We will be studying about the history of electron, proton, neutron, right, after watching a video, because it is much easier to visualize after watching the video. ठीक है? Right? We will see how small or how big atom is. The lots of interesting videos. Okay, but for now we will focus on the conceptual part. Okay, so when you talk about atom, right? Okay, when you talk about atom, so when you talk about what is, right, what is the shape or structure of atom, so the answer is no one knows. Okay, the actual answer is we are still discovering, right? We're still discovering, but obviously we cannot say that, no, that we don't know. I know someone have discovered something and they believe it to be right. Okay, in the same way, right, how atom looks was given by many scientists. Okay, J.J. Thomson, right, was the first scientist. Then it was Rutherford, right? These are the name of the scientists. Then it was Bohr, Hannah, right? And all gave their understanding of the shape and structure of atom. And trust me, let me tell you, all the three are wrong. All the three are wrong, right? Okay, neither of them gave the correct, right, description
Answer.
of atom, है ना? But we studied, right? We studied because obviously it was the right. It was that time where the science was not discovered, science was not this developed, है ना? So obviously whatever they gave is on the basis of the limited resources, ठीक है? So we will be studying that theory, that structure of atom for our simplicity. है ना? As we go to higher classes, we will actually study that the structure of atom is not this. This is just the simplest model that we study, right? For tell me our syllabus, ठीक है, right? Okay, so this was given by Rutherford, right, and later given by Bohr. Okay, according to them, atom is just like a solar system. Atom is just like a solar system, right? So, what do you think about solar system? Tell me, what do you think about
The
solar system?
systems means
The
there is
revolving around
that.
on the orbit.
Planet.
How solar system look to me?
Sir, one big star, sir, on
Planet revolving around the
between sir and planets
Right? Correct.
revolving
So
around.
So
we
sun is at the center and all the other planets revolve.
correct. You have sun at the center, है ना? And all the other planets revolve around, है ना? Revolve around, right? Revolve around the sun. Yes or no? Tell me. In different orbits, in different paths, which are called as orbits. I guess this is something that we all know, Hayana, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we also assume that atom is just like solar system, right? This was the assumption given by Bohr, है ना? Rutherford and Bohr gave this assumption, right? That the atom is like a solar system, right? Where we have, right, something called nucleus,
So the new
right, which is at the center of the atom, and nucleus
Sir, it
contains, right,
consists of
of
neutrons and positive charged
yeah,
protons.
proton, neutron, right? Proton and neutron. Okay, right? And electron revolves around us.
Sir,
Electron,
charged electrons revolve around it.
yes, revolve around us, around nucleus, right? Okay, we are not talking about structure of atom for now. We're just talking about the basic idea. Okay, because I'm skipping the theory part. Okay, okay, right? I'll just jump to how to write the equations, how to write the formula. Okay, now I hope all of you understood that when you talk about the nucleus, what would be the charge of nucleus? Tell me, what would be the charge of nucleus?
Sir, positive, sir.
What would be the charge of nucleus?
Sir, positive.
Positive, right? Okay,
Sir, because the
yes,
protons
positive,
present
correct.
in
So I can
nucleus,
say,
sir, are positive.
yes, because we know that nucleus is made up of protons and neutrons, right? Okay,
Sir, voice not audible, sir.
okay, is it audible? Sorry, is it audible?
Yes, sir, now audible.
Right, yes. So I can say,
Sir, it
sorry,
is also electrons orbit near nucleus.
yeah. So I'll tell you, this is nucleus. This is consist of proton and neutron, right? This is nucleus. That's very small space, है ना? Right? So as I can say, so nucleus consists of protons and neutrons. The overall charge is positive. The overall charge is positive, yes or no, right? And electron revolves around the nucleus. So electron is negative. So what about overall atom. Tell me, what about overall atom? Right? Overall atom will have electron as well as proton. Yes or no? Right? Okay. So usually when you talk about atom, atom have,
Sir, I didn't get you, sir. Please repeat again.
wait, I'm repeating. Atom have same number of same number of same number of right same number of what? Electron and proton, right? समझ में आया? So usually whenever you talk about any atom now, it will have same number of electron and proton. So tell me, what would be the overall charge of the atom? Tell me. If you're having minus 10, right, which is the charge of electron, and then plus 10, which is the charge of proton. This is the charge of electron, this is the charge of proton. Then tell me, what is the net charge? Tell me, what would be the
Sir,
net charge?
minus.
Sir, minus.
Sir, minus.
How come minus plus 10 will become what?
0.
Sir,
Yes,
minus.
0 na, 0. Minus 10 plus 10 is 0 na. Right? So what can you say? What is the charge of atom? Tell me, what is the charge of atom?
Sir, charge of atom is 0.
It is 0, yes. And what's the meaning of 0?
Sir, 0 means no.
Neither negative nor positive.
Correct, right? Net charge means overall charge of an atom. Okay? Overall charge of an atom, right? So I can say overall charge. Net charge means overall charge, है ना? Overall charge of an atom is 0. Yes or no? Ayana, tell me. Right? Means usually atom is neutral. Usually atom is neutral. Agree? Tell me. Agree? Ayana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyone have any doubt on this? Same, Gia, same. The number of electron, right, and proton are equal. And neutron is almost equal to number of protons. Almost. Sometimes it is less, sometimes it is more, right? We cannot say that it will be more or less. We have to remember it. Okay? We will see how to remember, but we will remember it. Okay? समझ में आया? Right? Okay. Now, I hope all of you understood this. Hi, Anna.
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any doubt in this? Right? So
No.
let us
No,
take
sir.
okay, let us take one example, right? Let us take one example. Suppose here I'm having right Golu.
Sir, again Golu Molu.
Yeah, right. And again here I'm having Golu. Okay. Now obviously both are a good student, right? So they ideally they should have one physics book, one chemistry book, one
max book.
bio, one maths. Okay, yes or no? Ideally they should have this. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Right? And Golu should also have one physics, one chemistry, one bio, one maths. Yes or no? Tell me. Right? Agree? Anyone have any issue on this? Now
No.
tell me, suppose if Golu gives his maths book, right? Or I will just say like this, right? Suppose he's having physics, chemistry, maths, and he's having physics, chemistry, bio. Okay, like this. Okay. Suppose he gives his maths book, to Golu, right? Okay. Suppose Golu gives his maths book to Golu, right? So now he is having how many books? Tell me. So initially, Golu is having 3 books. Initially, Golu was having 3 books. Sorry, Golu was having 3 books and Golu was having 3 books. Now, Golu gave his 1 book to Golu. Then how many books Golu will have?
Sir, 2.
2.
Sorry, sir. 2.
Golu will have?
Sir, 4.
Sir, 4.
Okay, so I guess this is clear now. This is very simple thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. Now, why I'm taking this example, right? We know that when you talk about two atoms, suppose I'm having two atoms, A and B. This is atom A and this is atom B. Okay, this is atom B, right? So atom A is having 10 electron and 10 proton. Suppose 10 electron and 10 proton, because number of electron and proton would be same, right? Yes. Okay. And here we have, suppose 17 electron. I'm not taking 10, I'll just take it as 11. Okay. I'll just take it as 11. 11 electron and 11 proton. And here I'm having 17 electron and 18 and 17 proton. Okay, right? Anyone have any issue on this? Tell me, anyone have any issue on this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No.
So tell me one thing, how many electrons, right, we have in A? This is A, so 13. And how many electrons we have in B?
So 11.
Right? 17. Now,
17 and
think
11.
about it. Yes, we will think logically. Hai na? Right? We will think logically. Tell me this. If we talk about, right? If we talk about electrons and protons, can I say, sir, electron? Yes or no? They are orbiting outside. Hai na?
Yes, sir.
And
Protons are inside.
inside. Yes or no? Like just for understanding. Hai na? Now, suppose if I have to send someone. Think about it. If I have to send someone, kick someone out, right? Whom I'll kick? Electron or proton?
Sir, both.
No,
Sir,
only
electron.
electron.
Sir, because electron are outside.
Sir, because it is outside.
Yes, exactly, hai na?
Sir, then you said that electrons and
Hai
protons
na?
are same.
So
So if you
whenever
take
we
out
have to
one
kick
electron,
someone or whenever we have to call someone, right? Yes. So we will talk about. Okay, we will talk about what?
Sir,
Electrons
electron.
and protons. Yes. Okay, so I can say whenever, right, we talk about exchange of charges, hai na? Whenever something is going out or something is coming in, right? It is what?
Sir, electron.
shifting.
ठीक है? Right? Anyone have any doubt?
Excuse me, sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, you told that every time protons and electrons are same, sir. Sir, if you pick one electron and shift it somewhere, then what will happen to protons, sir?
Exactly, that's what we are going to answer, hai na? Right?
Sir,
That
it
is
will not balance, sir.
yes, it will not balance, right? And in that case, obviously it is not like the electron gaya hai to nahi proton bhi bahar jayega. They're not Jai Viru, yes or no? Right? है ना? Right? They're not Jai Viru. That नहीं मेरा दोस्त गया है बाहर तो हम भी जाएंगे. ऐसा नहीं होता है. So that is what we are going to study. Suppose one electron, right? Okay, suppose, right? Okay, think about it. B is a bigger family, right? B is a family person who's having a family of 10 people. Okay, right? And he need at least 18 electrons. He need how many electrons?
18.
18 electrons. ठीक है? Right? He need 80 electrons. सबका घर चल जाए, सबको अच्छे से मिले. So he need 18 electrons to be stable. To be stable. है ना? Right?
So he needs 18 protons also.
Right? No, think about it, right? He needs 18 electrons, not protons. He needs 18 electrons. Okay. And A is a small family. Of 4 per people. Think about it. A is having a small family with 4 people. He can be stable in 10 electrons only. He can be stable in 10 electrons. He need only 10 electrons to be stable, right? And both are friends. Tell me what will happen? क्या होगा? बताओ. A जो है वो 10 इलेक्ट्रॉन पे स्टेबल हो जाएगा, है ना? राइट? उसको 10 इलेक्ट्रॉन ही चाहिए सिर्फ स्टेबल होने के लिए. but B
will give one electron to B.
correct, है ना? So he will be a good friend. A will be a good friend. So A is having one extra electron now. He needs only 10 electron, but he's having 11 electrons. So what will happen? He will give one electron to, give one electron to B. Yes or no? Tell me, raise your hand. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Raise your hand. Anyone have any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Anyone have any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay. So now this is before, right? This is before exchange. Before. Let us talk about after. After, what is after? After it is 10 electron, Hayana.
Yes, sir.
And it is what? It is 18 electron.
Electrons.
But what will happen to number of proton? Tell me, what will happen to number of proton?
Sir, it will be imbalanced.
Same na, proton is not going to, है ना? Proton जितना उतना ही, because proton is inside the house, right? Proton.
Sir, till now not audible.
Sir, you are not audible.
Sir, please write your message in whiteboard, sir.
No, sir, you are not
No, sir, you are not audible. Sir, I thought voice is not audible. Sorry.
Okay, chalo. So yeah, Tanushri, I'll answer your question, Tanushri. So you are that yeah. So if A will give, see again, A will not give 11 electron, it will give only 1 electron. Hi, na. A will give only 1 electron to B, and obviously it is electron, na, right? So obviously it will be called as electron only, right? Hi, na. ठीक है, right? Okay. So yes, so we will have the change in number of electrons, but not protons. Protons would be same, है ना? So we will have, tell me, 11 protons, and here we will have same 17 protons. ठीक है, right? Number of protons will not
Sir,
change
but how is it possible, sir? There is no balance.
because, right, electron is getting shifted ना, बाहर में electrons है ना, वो बस shift हो रहा है. जो अंदर में है, protons अंदर में है. It is inside the nucleus. Not shift, right? It will not shift. समझ में आया? है ना? So exchange of
Sir,
electrons.
means nothing will happen. Means nothing will happen to an atom
Yes.
if electron is moved.
So tell me. यहाँ बताओ अब electron is 10, proton is 11. What is the net charge? Tell me. Charge कितना हो जाएगा? Negative 10 है. Okay,
Sir,
Alexa.
plus one.
Sir, 1 plus 1.
Plus 1. Yes or no? Tell me. Because 10 negative,
Positive
11.
charge का एक proton ज़्यादा है.
Yes, correct. And what about this one? Tell me. What about this one?
Sir,
minus
minus
one.
one. Minus
minus-
one.
Correct. Right? -1. Yes or no? Ayana.
Sir,
Any-
क्योंकि plus one का एक क्या बोलते हैं proton इसीलिए.
Yes, correct. So anyone have any doubt in this? Tell me, anyone have any doubt in this?
No, sir, no.
So can I say, okay, can I say that, right, if A gives electron to B, right, A becomes negatively charged.
Sir, for this question, sir, we need the number of electrons and protons.
Tell me, this is correct or wrong? Tell me. This is correct or wrong? If A gives electron to B, it becomes negatively charged. Read it first.
Sir, wrong.
Sir, no, sir, it will be positively charged.
Correct.
Positively.
It is wrong because A is losing electron, है ना? A अपने electron दे रहा है, तो A के पास negative charge, right? कम हो जा रहा है. It will be less. Positive charge will be more. So it will become positive charge. A become positively charged. Yes or no? right? And what about B? Tell me, what about B? B will
Sir,
become
it will be negatively
B
charged.
will become
Negative
negative.
charge.
correct. B after gaining electron become negatively charged. Anyone have any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No doubt.
Becomes negatively charged. Okay, so this positively charge, right? It is now it is positive charge, negative charge, but it will be atom only, huh? Na? Tell me,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? But what should be the difference? Some difference. Now tell me, right? Hana? So that difference is called as, right? They're called as ions. They are called ions. Ions. So what are ions? They are charged, right? Atoms or molecules.
Sir, can you repeat?
Right? When you talk about charged atoms or molecules, right? They are called as ions. Ions, है ना? उसको नाम दे दिया गया, right? Because yes, ions, ions. ठीक है?
Can either be positive or negative.
Anything, I'll tell you. Positive का कुछ और नाम है, negative कुछ और नाम है, ठीक है? वो मैं बता रहा हूँ, ठीक है?
Sir, if it will be negatively charged, it will also be called ion, sir.
Yes, right? So ions
Sir,
are
but negative ions and positive ions.
correct. So ions of two types. First is positive ions, है ना? So positive ions are called as cation. Cation, right? Cation, ठीक है?
Cat आ गया.
ठीक है? And negative ion is called as
Cat giant.
not cation. And समझ में आया? Right? So positive ions is called as
An ion.
negative ion is called as anion. ठीक है? Okay, ठीक है? Anyone have any doubt till this point? Anyone have any doubt till this point?
No
Right?
doubt.
No, sir, no doubt.
I'm skipping all the theory part, ठीक है? Right? जो लिखने वाला चीज है वो हम skip कर, because anyways we might forget. So we are talking about only conceptual part, ठीक है? Okay.
Sir, are we going to have Kahoot?
Yes. Wait. We will discuss theory part in Kahoot, ठीक है? Right? Okay. So now ये तो ठीक है सर, एटम समझ में आ गया, चार्जेस समझ में आ गए, आयंस भी समझ में आ गया, है ना? बट माय क्वेश्चन इज, आर एटम ऑफ सेम टाइप? मतलब सारे एटम्स का सेम होते हैं? टेल मी.
नहीं सर, कुछ एटम जैसे गोल्ड एटम, आयरन एटम,
Yes,
मेटल एटम वैसे होते हैं.
right? I can say, sir, they might have different number of electrons, different number of protons. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Right? है ना? So I can say, sir, atoms are different. Atoms are different and have different number of tell me, protons.
Protons and electrons.
Now electrons may be same, but protons would be different. Protons हमेशा different रहेगा, ठीक है? Right?
Sir, means electrons may be same and protons will definitely be changed.
Exactly, because electrons can change, है ना? हमने example देखा that electrons can change, electrons can be shared, right? But protons cannot be shared. So proton जितना है उतना ही रहेगा, उससे ज़्यादा change नहीं करेगा, है ना? So that's why I'm talking about protons, है ना? Atoms are different and they have different number of protons, right? And these are called as elements, right? So I can say there's something called elements, right? है ना? So we will discuss a lot about elements.
Sir, there are 118 types of elements.
But if I ask you, general, what is element? Tell me.
Sir,
Please,
they
common
are
sense.
type of compounds.
No, not compound.
Not compounds. Sir, when elements will chemically react, then it will form a compound.
Sir,
See, when you talk about element, right? I told you that there are different substance having different type of atoms. Hai na, right?
yes,
Hai
sir.
na? We can say element is basically a pure substance. A pure substance. Hai na? A pure substance having same type of atom. Yes or no? Same type of atom. Clear हुआ ये? हाँ ना?
Yes, sir.
For example, when you talk about iron, so iron, right? Iron is a pure substance. Yes or no? Iron is not a combination of something. No, iron is pure substance. Yes or no? Right?
Yes, sir. Sir, gold also, silver also.
Silver, they are pure substance and they are formed by different atoms, but all the atoms, they are same. They are of same type. Clear hai? Yes or no? Zinc, right? Many things. So when you talk about atoms, the atoms, right? The atoms are just, right, the structure of any substance, and they are of different type depending on the elements, right, whose atom they are. For example, when you talk about atom of iron and atom of gold. So what would be the difference between these two? Tell me, what would be the difference between
Sir, no
these two?
differences, sir, because they both are
The
same.
number
Only
of
a
atoms.
difference will be in atom.
Yes or no? There is or not?
Sir, there will be a difference in atom only, sir.
Tell me. Again, right? That's what I'm saying, Jia. खुद सोचो, right? एक एटम के पास, right? एक एटम के पास मान लो, right? कुछ नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं, कुछ नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स है क्या? सारे एटम के पास सेम नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन, सेम नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स रहेंगे? Tell me, think about it. लॉजिकली सोचते हैं हम लोग. सोचो. Yeah, if the atom have different number of protons, will they be same? Tell me, will they be same?
No, sir.
No, na, they will be different. Yes or no? समझ में आया सबको? They will be different. So I can say, sir, when you talk about atoms of iron, है ना? Atoms of iron, right? So they have how many electrons?
Sir, how
They
can you know, sir?
have electrons, right? है ना? So see, when you talk about number of atoms, sorry, number of
Sir, iron atoms are different and gold atoms are different.
electrons, protons, that you have to remember. Okay, तुमको याद करना पड़ेगा. समझ में आया? You cannot just say कि कितने होंगे, and that is
Sir,
what
हमें
we
क्या
are
याद
going to
करना होगा?
remember. मैं बता रहा हूँ.
What should we learn?
Number of protons we have to remember. For example, when you talk about iron, है ना? When you talk about iron, so iron is having 26 electrons and 26 protons, right? है ना? Right? 26 electrons and 26 protons, usually in neutral atom. And when you talk about gold, okay, when you talk about gold will have much more number of electron and proton, right? And in fact, gold will have 79 number of electrons and 79 number of protons, right? So obviously the number of protons is different. Yes or no? Tell me. And since the number of protons are different, they are different element. So how can we say that two atoms are different element? By seeing the number of by seeing the number of protons, not electrons. ठीक है? समझ में आया? Tell me.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Because electrons can be shifted, electrons can be transferred, but protons will not be transferred. Okay, right? Okay, so I can say if I have to decide about the atom or type of atom, what I have to say? Tell me what I have to see. Protons or electrons?
Protons.
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 Because electrons can be shifted or moved.
Yes. So I can say number of protons, right? We observe the number of electrons, sorry, number of protons, and number of protons is called as atomic number. Atomic नंबर। सबको समझ में आ रहा है यहाँ तक? हाँ चलो, सबको समझ में आया?
Sir, what is atomic? Sir,
Just
voice
a
not
name
audible.
given, na, right? किसी भी atom का number, it's just like, right? Now, am I audible? Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
tell me, if I have to talk about any atom. Sorry guys, my camera is stopped working. Okay. So if I talk about any element, right? Obviously, I should not. I will not write iron all the time. No, I should have a shortcut. Hi Anna. I should have a short representation. That is called your symbol.
Sir, for iron it will be Fe, sir.
Yes. Correct.
Fe.
Yes. So we have a symbol. है ना? Symbol, right? So when you talk about iron, for iron, the symbol that we have is Fe, because the Greek word, है ना? The Greek word for iron is ferrous or ferric. So that's what we symbol on the basis of Greek word, है ना? Now, for example, sodium. So I hope all of you know what is sodium,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
है ना? Namak,
Na. Sir, Na. Sir,
Na.
Na.
So we have to remember this. We have to remember this symbol first. I will tell you, I will give you a chart of this. And then what is
Sir,
the
periodic chart, no, sir?
Sir, periodic table.
yes, periodic table, right? That is periodic table. Something called as periodic table. I'll tell you what is periodic table, don't worry.
Sir,
So,
it's very much difficult to learn, sir.
okay, what is the number of protons of Fe? What is the number of protons of iron? I've told you.
Sir,
It is,
26.
26.
the atomic number of iron is 26. Clear hai ye cheez?
Sir,
Yes,
in
sir.
physics,
Sir, and sodium?
Sodium, it is 11.
11.
so it is called Fe.
Okay, so I will write 20. Okay, 20. I write 10. Try to remember 10 for now. Okay. Okay. So first is hydrogen.
Sir, H2O.
No, H2 is water and this is a compound, right? I will just talk about elements now.
Sir, H2O is hydrogen oxide, sir.
Yes, yes, we will discuss it.
Sir, I thought you are writing hydrogen oxide,
is a
so I
compound.
told H2O.
Okay.
Sir, H2O is a compound.
Yes, we will discuss about those things in next class. Okay. Then it is called lithium, Li. Tell me.
Sir, please write little bit close, sir.
Then it is beryllium. Okay.
Sir,
Then,
Al
Boron.
aluminium.
Boron.
Sir,
yes.
Al aluminium.
Yes. Again, right? I'm just giving you an example. Okay, I'm giving you an example. Okay.
Carbon.
Carbon. Yes. And for nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen. Sir, O
Sir,
for
E.
oxygen. C for carbon dioxide, sir. It is over, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Oxygen.
then, sir, one more, sir. Carbon monoxide.
That all of them are compound.
Yes, sir. Sir, Ar organ, sir. Sir,
Yes.
it is also.
That's
Sir,
right.
it is very poisonous gas, sir. Carbon monoxide.
Okay, so these are some basic elements.
Sir, zinc.
Okay, atom of some basic elements. Okay. Now we'll talk about what is compound. Try to form lots of compounds, write equations. Okay, right in next class. But I hope all of you understood the basic of ion. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, please send this PDF